because people keep asking me, which is, what are you doing now? What specifically made you want to go from? Because that's the number one question. Then the next question they'll always ask is, why is he doing this? Back to when you first met me, and it's kind of interesting for everyone who noticed, was when I first met you, the funny thing that nobody realized was at that point of time, you were still in school.
Before I take it away about what I'm working on right now, then I'll just share why I had a bit of moment there just now. In fact, I had two. One before I came in, and then another one that just began.
Yeah.
The photo that I had with my wife in the last... Because I met Jing Jing probably around the same time as I met you. I have 1,600 plus with Jing Jing. And I have 2,100 plus with you.
Oh man, holy shit.
The amount of face that you have, and the amount of pictures that I have of Mel is, wow, quite a lot. So I was scrolling through, wow. And I'm like, wow, time flies.
That I should just say, you give your standard 3, 2, 1. But in the uncensored nature of this podcast, which is kind of interesting, I've done over 1,000. I think Joe knows a long time ago I was interviewing dating coaches. And so I interview a lot of entrepreneurs during our time in X Factor. And then I do a lot of podcasts already. We got a lot of guests in also for our masterminds. So anyway, this is I want to say this is one of the most perhaps raw, uncensored. I also never prepare. So he asked me outside, what are we going to talk about? I sure also don't know. I don't just want to recap and probably, just some raw thoughts on, I think close to a decade. Close to a decade. So you're
33.
33. I mean, I constitute 1/3 of your life. Think about it.
Almost there.
Almost.
One quarter.
One quarter. True. 1/4 of your life has been spent with me, and I think quite intensive as considering the fact that we work. I think not the usual working hours. We work 5 to 7 days a week or so.
Yep.
I think a lot of that. So I just think we just want to recap a lot of the things that we have done over the last 8.5 years. The journey, lessons we have taken away, stories. I think perhaps mistakes. Perhaps also just progress, whatever we feel like saying, and then
yep.
I think people are also interested. Also, I think so we just want to recap that. So first of all, this is not very censored. There's no script. You can kind of see I usually operate with no script also. So I also don't know what Joe is going to say. He has an iPad over there. I got a cup of coffee here. He's going to look through photos. I don't want to look through photos because I also don't know. Bring back a lot of memories. Not that I want to block out the memories. But at the same time, I think it's just really been a lot also. So for anyone watching, I guess if you're watching, you should probably do an intro, 90 seconds in. I hope you guys know who we are. Joe has for the longest time, 8.5 years, been together with me since when? 2016 when? May, June, April. Then he's having a moment. So April, March, then I think we kind of met. We want to shout out for Buddy who brought us together. At that point of time, the buddy said to me that, hey, there's this underground internet marketer who is really, really good. And then I called at that point of time, wow, this is a very funny story, you don't know. So at that point of time, I was having a bit of issues for all the people watching. I was having a bit of issues with my life. My life was quite in turmoil. I have had seasons of that also. So I think Joe has witnessed a lot of that so far. So believe it or not, I was actually sleeping at a capsule hotel. See, there's a part that you don't know. So I actually woke up late. So I think specifically I was supposed to meet Joe. And this buddy of mine was meeting Joe. And I was actually at a capsule hotel. Now, why am I at a capsule hotel in Singapore? It's a story for another time. So anyway, I woke up and I think the buddy wanted me to meet Joe at about 11 or something like that. Right? I woke up 11:55. So I ran all the way to the place where he was meeting Joe. And when I was there, I think Joe was about to leave. So I stopped him and said, hey, you are the fella that I'm supposed to meet. I'm so sorry for being late. And then afterwards, I got Joe's number. And I think the first time we met, then we spent about 3+ hours just chatting. And then, at that point in time, I was thinking of bringing Marshall Thurber in. And Joe was really doing well with Sean. And he was doing marketing for Sean. And then I also don't know what I say. Maybe I quite convincing. Convinced Joe to come and join me at that point of time. And, I don't know if I knew a lot. I just wanted to promote Marshall and do some previews. And I thought, I think later on when people ask us whether you should find a business partner just like this, I would say, hey, please, this one, don't follow what I do because, I don't know if I went through any of the process and checklists that we eventually advise people to go through when finding a business partner. But I followed none of it. I just followed gut instinct. And then, we put on a great event and eventually promoted Marshall well and did X Factor. So this is a very, very long way of telling you the story of how I met Joe. And, it's been 8.5 years and I think we just want to recap a little bit also, give you a behind the scenes look of what it was like. We'll talk about some of the things also.
Some tissue also.
Tissue, yes, bro. You are tissue. we haven't started. We haven't started. I know that Joe was having a moment, so I decided to talk a little bit longer. Okay, so and then these days also, so later on in the middle of this podcast very uncensored. Because like in the middle later on, I think we have Joe's brand new enterprise coming in. Not coming in as in being a part of the podcast, but they're going to come in and put 2 cups of his brand new bubble tea here. Cha Mulan bubble tea also. So I thought I told Joe to spend a lot of money shipping the tea here despite the heavy rain that's going to happen right now, so that we can give his business a little bit of a shout out. Not that his business needs my shout out, but they are doing really well now. But we just want to talk a little bit about that also. So okay, wait. So before we continue, I think long intro. Hope it's feeling a bit better now. Let's start also with what you're doing now also, because people keep asking me. And apart from drinking the tea, then I also not quite sure about like how you decided to do that, because I think we run into some people who know us from X Factor and they always ask like a few questions. So how about we address that first before we go down memory lane, which is what are you doing now? What specifically made you want to go from, because that's the number one question. So I also quite tired of maybe this podcast is so I don't need to answer this question also, but always ask me what's Joe doing now, and then after I tell them you're doing Cha Mulan bubble tea, then the next question they'll always ask is why is he doing this, which I cannot answer also. So I also don't know. I love to know the question. And then it's like, what's the vision for this? Why tea? And how about you take it away?
So let's before I take it away about what I'm working on right now, then I'll just share why I got a bit why I had a bit of moment there just now. In fact, I had 2. One before I came in, and then another one that just began.
Yeah. We wanted to start with a low gradient question so that we can actually get through this somewhat. Yes. Guys, you must understand, I already know how Joe is going to respond, which is what happens when you spend 8.5 years together.
In my photos, right? Then I just saw it. Wow. The photo that I had with my wife in the last... Because I met Jing Jing probably around the same time as met you.
Really?
Around there.
1.6, really?
1.6.
So wait, hold on. So
1.5, 1.6. But
okay.
So I want to see the photo count. Wow, I 1,600 plus with Jing Jing. And I have 2,100 plus with you.
Oh man, holy shit.
I mean, at least that's what the
photo says.
Yeah, photo says. The amount of face that you have, the amount of pictures that I have of Mel is, wow, quite a lot. So I was scrolling through, wow. And I'm like, wow, time flies. Anyways, so I probably need to take some rest before I can explain
no problem.
What am I working on right now, right?
I wanted to go for that question because I felt it was a lower gradient question.
So what is Joe working on right now, and how did I get started with Cha Mulan? Okay, so the story is where was this? September or October? Actually, September or October. I can't quite recall. Basically, one day I was having breakfast. I believe it was Saturday morning, and I was having kway chap at Bedok 216 Market. Okay. I only started going to the market somewhere during COVID there, Barney. Right, even though I stayed there so close to that place. But I never went to visit the place. So that fateful morning, I queued up at that very famous Chris Kway Chap, and I was there for like 20 minutes there about queuing in. Then after finished queuing, I had my food and I was leave already. Then suddenly to the corner of my eye, then I saw a poster, something a bit bright, right, lit up, right. Then I saw there were a few people queuing. Okay, there was 2 person. Okay, there was one uncle and one auntie. But before I noticed the uncle and auntie, right, there was just like a feeling, there's a gut feeling that, hey, you must go and check out this thing. I have no idea why. Right? So I just sit down there and just take a look and just observe. So I saw the first uncle, right? 50 plus, 60 years old. He took a sample. And then before he looked at the menu, before he looked at the price, right? He asked about the price, give me a cup. The business guy and me just going, what the shit? This uncle just bought something within 10 seconds without asking the price, without looking at the menu. Like, what the hell? All based on one sample. And I thought it might be a fluke, right? So the auntie behind, same thing. Slightly younger, 40 plus, I believe. And then she, same thing, took a sample, right? Without looking at the price, without looking at the menu, and just said, okay, give me a cup. I was like, what did I just see? I was like 2 tables away.
Like a hot product.
Yeah, and it's like a sample only, and then just sold like within 10 seconds.
Like drugs.
I don't know whether it's like drugs, but then I was like, what did I just see, right? Then when I sit down there, then it's like the attraction just grew, right? Okay. I was like, what the hell is this? So I went over, I took a sample, I liked it. I bought one for my mom, and she liked it. And then the funny thing was,
So you haven't tasted yet. So you just see two old people and I mean your mom is not young. So,
No, so I remember I take a sample.
So you drank also?
Yeah, so I drank also. And I was like, hey, I like it. Correct. Then afterwards, I bought one, and then I had my mom try it. She liked it also. Correct. But as my mom was having that, right, I just sat down there at the table. It was like how do you can call it feeling and calling, like God telling me, like, hey, you need to somehow be involved with this.
That's why I always tell people. By the way, I always tell people that God asked him to do it, but nobody ever bloody fucking believes. Oh, by the way, there will be uncensored words here, at least from me. Like he wouldn't say it, but people don't fucking believe. Every time I tell them that
no,
that's
the
the
same
reason.
way I met Jing Jing also, right? Anyways, so I just sit down there and it's like, should I go and find out more? Should I go and speak to the owner? Da, 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 da.
Did any rational thought happen in your mind? You thought to yourself like, hey, wow, this is like not something that I've ever done before. Because we have done like 8.5 years.
Never, bro. I've never once told you, right, that I want to do F&B. Never in my life. I never told Jing Jing at all that I want to do F&B at all. Bro, no, it has never come
No
across.
inkling of F&B.
Zero, bro.
I mean, I only know that every time we go near your house, then we would. I mean, you lah, not we lah. You would buy some bubble tea lah. Not that I ever like bubble tea anywhere.
Yeah, so
but
anyway,
you
the
would
bubble
get
tea
also.
I always buy, right? It's either the koi one, then without the topping one.
Exactly.
Yeah, then it's like the plain tea. And most maybe I have some aloe vera inside, and whatever.
Yeah.
Then that was max money.
So you watch a bunch of people enjoy bubble tea, then you sit down and think to yourself like, wait, so you sit, you never think.
So
Okay.
the story continues, right? So at the point of time, it was just like I had to be involved in this somehow. Okay, so I took a picture of my mom having Cha Mulan.
Okay.
And then I sent it to the IG before I even leave the place. I have never ever done this, right, to any other products or
you
any
send
food
to the
I eat.
message or you tag them on story?
No,
or?
I just like DM the
Oh, wow.
account.
Okay.
I DM the account and I say, hey, my mom love it, so on and so forth. But the moment when I DM, right, I already had the intention, right, that I must be part of this. It was just that moment.
Was it the taste? Was it the view? Was it the feeling? Like
I cannot explain,
you
bro.
can explain. Okay,
I can't explain, right? So about 4 or 5 days later, that basically on the same day he replied me, and then I just texted and I just replied lah. I say, hey, my name is Joe and I'm a private investor from X Factor Method, blah blah blah. And then I'm keen to explore how I can further invest and grow a business together with you, that kind of things. Right? I took a screenshot of our Google review, that kind of stuff, right? Sending for some social proof lah. If not, like who the heck is
correct. Just like random fella
Yeah,
say he can do a bunch of things. Yeah.
You know, so we met up, I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday the next day, so 4 days later. And then we had a chat. So my partner's name is called Kenneth, right? And I found out that I was not the first person who approached him. I was the 4th guy. Okay.
Oh shit, okay.
Yep. There were 3 guys before me. They were F&B veterans. I think some people own a chain of fruit shop, some own some nightlife scene, quite a big big player there also. So all in all, I had to sell myself. I had to pitch myself like why should he pick me to work with him other than anyone else?
And he rejected the last 3 lah. Or was it all simultaneous?
Ultimately, he rejected the last 3.
Oh, okay.
Correct?
Or the first 3.
The first 3. And then I had also to prove my sincerity and so on. The next day or the day after only, I think I went down to a store. I went down to the hawker store and I went down to go and sell and I went going to go and experience the whole thing. So I wanted to see, right, like, can I sell this thing? Like, is this like a fluke based on whatever I just saw only? Correct? 2%, 3% plus me only, right? So I went and like, so it was quite a universal appeal, taste appeal. Well, you just give simple, right? And then you see the auntie, the uncle, or they see some person just go ahead and then they just buy. So it's like to me, it's like a offer that sells. But I'm also curious, why the hell would I want to be involved in this? So I still recall, right?
Because buying and drinking versus operating and running and expanding is very different. Like, you like drinking wine, don't mean you should own a bar or own a vineyard.
Yeah, so I sat down one day, 6 a.m. I still recall. I sat down there and still go and think, why am I working on this? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And something, wow, I realized why I'm doing this really. So there were a few reasons, right? And the biggest reason, right, is my grandmother, my late grandmother, right? 99, right? So in the past, 30, 40 years ago, I don't know how many years ago, basically she was very poor. Nai and Yeye very, very poor. How do you know very poor? My mom and dad told me, right, that when they went to their friend's house for housewarming, and then when they came back, right, both of them ended up crying. You know why?
Why?
Because their friend's house got TV, got sofa, got all those
shit,
things.
okay. So they don't
Their
have...
house got nothing. So they came back crying. But as hardworking people, do they just like lament on the fact that life sucks or whatsoever? No, correct? So they were hardworking hawkers. So at one time, they are Hainanese people, so they went and sell Hainanese chicken rice.
Oh, okay. Shit. Oh, that was why. Oh, that's why the chicken rice in the house is so nice.
Yes, it is.
Very good.
It is a recipe that attract flocks of tourists come on, right? At Old Airport Road, at the first stretch. So they were selling right beside the very famous prawn mee at that stretch facing the main road. So they were buddies. But the thing is, because they work so long hours, right? Then it's always very hot. Then they need something refreshing. So what my nana will do, because last time the hawker, right, don't have that it is not segmented between the store and the back.
Yeah.
So what she will do is she will turn to the back, right? And then right behind her is a drink store.
Oh, she'll drink Coke.
Yeah, she'll drink Coke. Yeah, so she drink Coke. She'll say, hey, 叫一杯 Coke, 叫一杯 Coke, 叫一杯 Coke, right? So by the time she's 38 years old, right, she got diabetes.
Oh.
38. Like, wow. So at the point of time, it's like, it's a chronic disease. So it's not like, wow, I have her straight away, I will die kind. So guess what? Nothing happened. Nothing exploded from that point of time, right? But it was only when she was in her late 50s, then I still recall that she had a wound or injury at somewhere at the ankle area, somewhere at the feet area.
Yeah.
Then, because of the diabetes, right, the wound cannot close. Okay, the wound cannot close. And basically it spreads, right? Then you can see the bone. Then afterwards, right, sooner or later, and the doctor say, hey, your one leg, you need to amputate. For knee down, she cannot. Wow. So I mean, to me, she's a bit of a tiger grandma. A bit, but the way she's a very like nutrition, right? Like she's one lady, has to support the whole household together. My grandfather, and then a very, very strong woman, so on and so forth. Then like, wow, you see that. Then the nanai that I always see at the store, right, because they were selling chicken rice. Wow, like you no longer see the gusto fire. It's like, wow, half her soul gonna suck out already. Because right now she's slightly disabled. In fact, disabled, right? Then never mind. Okay, few years later, second leg gone.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, second leg gone. Then at the point of time, you were saying the 2-story place already, right?
Yeah.
The one you've been to. And I was living with her in the same place, and I could see her sometimes like. Guess what? She wants to be self-sufficient, and then she would insist that she will climb up the stairs. How to climb the stairs when you have 2 legs gone? Bro, then, so I see her, just imagine a person like half, like climbing up the stairs, right? And I thought that was quite sad to see sometimes. And sooner or later, another 1-2 years later, the doctor asked her, your kidney has failed, do you want to cease? Right? She said no. Why? Because life is too tough already. So she opted not to have dialysis or whatsoever, and then within half a year, or 1 year, then she passed away, a heart attack. And to me, like, wow, can you imagine all these? She got high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high diabetes, all these things. To me, it's like a large part of all of these problems that happen in the later life
could have been prevented.
If right behind her is not a
choice.
Yeah, if right behind her is not a Coke store or whatever, right? So I'm thinking, wow, what if 40 years ago, the store right behind her store is a Cha Mulan?
Holy shit! Okay, wow.
Would a healthier option have changed a lot of things? And my answer to that is likely so, right? I mean, of course, at the point of time, there's no Coke Zero, Coke Light, blah blah blah. So that's like the biggest thing, right? Like, wow, what if this thing existed there? Because you see, a lot of the hardworking people, right?
Yeah.
What do they do when they want something refreshing, or they want to have I don't know, like some snack? They just slam unhealthy shit into the body.
Yeah. They look for something in a vending machine.
Yeah. So it's like, wow, what if this is like Cha Mulan is more popular and is able to reach more people, then perhaps a lot more people would not have access to unhealthy choices, because at the end of the day, we all know, right, that it's very hard to, like, the environment is greater than the willpower. So if you ask a person, like right now Singapore got a freaking diabetes campaign, wow, hey, please don't go and drink sweet stuff, blah blah. But if you change the environment, it's better than asking you not to do something, right? So I'm very proud that right now at least we have multiple Cha Mulan stores out there serving healthy stuff to people, and it is good to see that people of age, senior folks, right, they are the ones buying it for themselves, right? They consume healthy stuff.
Wow.
But of course, my desire is people who are younger, 30 plus, like my grandmother, right? So I kept thinking, wow, if all these 30 plus year old folks have more of these when they are there, then they won't end up like, sadly,
I think you got to sell it in different places with different appeal. I mean, you got to put hot guys and hot girls there, probably that. But yeah, but I think if you sell it at markets, then you're going to get kind of the market the target audience you want. So how's it like entering, like, before we branch off and talk about the 8.5 years we have had? So how's it like entering a field like F&B? Because a lot of people, when I tell them about F&B, then they say it's like very difficult, margins, it's an entirely different world than whatever we have done, which meant you are entering a space. I don't know if there were any leverage and carryover, probably skills wise, but it's not like we know a whole bunch of F&B contacts, and we have like all systems built out for F&B, so having to build from scratch. So very quickly, how was that experience?
So to me, right, since I consider this a rather divine appointment, bro.
Divine employment.
Appointment also.
Appointment. Higher
So,
social moral purpose, like Thurber used to say.
Wow, what did I do? So do I have fear? Bro, I just got to pray, bro. That was the truth. I got zero experience doing this.
Yeah, you're like, I got no customer versus an
when I
operator.
look at the numbers, I'm like, bro, it's not the numbers I used to see. Not the margins I used to see.
Yeah.
Right? Not the speed of cash flow that I used to see.
Oh man. Yeah.
Correct? All these things. Correct?
Also, you're selling what? 490, 590. We used to sell packages at about 30, 50K.
Yeah, 80K, one shot, that kind of stuff. Like, wow, bro, are you kidding me? Then I see these things, I'm like, and that's why I ask myself, why am I doing this every single day? It was very, very important. It's not, I was like, so my grandmother was one person, and then so I had to.
I think your mom and her health also was.
Yeah, my mom and health also, correct? So, okay, so before I talk about numbers, story number 2, right? My mom. So, 2018, she got, long story short, she got colon cancer,
Yeah.
correct? And sad thing was that for the longest time ever, right? Whenever she complained of constipation at home, right? Because she does it every single week, it's like normalized. Constipation is normalized in the family for her. Like, when I hear mommy 2-3天 don't go to the toilet or like, don't, like it's normal already.
Yeah.
But now I know it's not normal, correct? But at that point of time, that week where it was like the full blown like emergency, right? She didn't go to the toilet for 1 week plus. She didn't poop for 1 week plus. And then when she told me in the car, right, I was alarmed, but not very alarmed. And then I never asked her to go and see doctor or whatsoever. But it was only her colleague at work, right? Asked her, hey, Serene, you must go and today you go and see doctor, that kind of stuff. So they rush her. So she rushed to the polyclinic. The polyclinic rushed her to a specialist. And I rush her to go and see, get a scope done, so on and so forth. Then of course you're like, hey, cancer, how to like pinpoint any single source of cause, a bit hard, right? So it's like a lot of things add together. Did she lead a rather stressful life at work? Yes. Did she have the hour? Yes. Did she eat a lot of poor choices when it comes to diet? Yes also. Does she, according to at least for me, right? I think my mom and me have similar body types, right? We cannot process gluten very well. So if I take bread, right? I know if I take a lot of bread, I'll take like two or three bread, right? I know my poop is going to have a hard time coming out, that kind of stuff. So, but all along, she loved bread every single day. Every single day, at least 1 bread, 2 bread, that kind of stuff. And so everything added up together, colon cancer stage 3, very early stage 3, but thankfully now she's in remission. Wow, that's so in Cha Mulan, right, we got one product called Cleanse Mulan. And this particular product, right, was named after her.
Oh,
so
wow.
Basically, it is just snow fungus with poached pear and then put a tea inside. So
that's the one that's coming.
coming. Is it outside?
Outside. Hey, Kevin's bringing very fast. We can advertise it. Oh, wow. So perfect, divine timing. Oh my God. Okay,
let's.
So you already, this is a unorthodox podcast. we break in the middle to get in tea. All right, so we have the pear one right here. Okay.
This is my favorite also.
Okay, so this is the Cleanse Mulan. This one we put here. Later we do the show and tell we got extra straw.
I got here.
Okay, so this is named after your mom and
So
situation.
story time, yes.
Yeah.
So why is it called Cleanse Mulan? So basically, it was just called poached pear with blah blah blah.
It's quite good.
So I brought home for her to try. Okay, and then this is a very to her obscene story. She came back and then she told me that wow. 我这个帮我清掉我的肚子我 like 什么叫清掉肚子 Then she said she went to she went to the toilet to clear her bowels to the extent that the person right beside her cubicle right complained 哇谁大便这么臭
Wow.
Then I was like are you sure no like 真的吗你不要
So she drank this and it really helped her.
I was like, no, my first reaction was like, 讲真的嘛 I mean, to me, I know poached pear helps the throat but I didn't know
you didn't know it helped the bowels.
The bowels. And 真的嘛 like, are you serious now? Then she said, yes. I'm like, okay, whatever. And the second time, about a week later, I gave her another one, correct? Then she said, hey, help her cleanse again. Then the third time, when you said it, right, okay, fine.
So this was a concoction that was already there at the...
It was, but it was mainly named for... But there wasn't a name or whatsoever. Like, before I came in, they were just like... The product names are just like the ingredient name.
The ingredient. Feature, no outcome. The naming, very jialat.
Correct. So after I...
you redo everything.
Yeah, then become Radiant Mulan, the Cleanse Mulan, that kind of stuff, right?
Outcome-oriented naming. So that's how you got started in this?
Yes. So yeah, so to me, it's like, wow. And some more, I also like Uncle Auntie Uncle Auntie also like me. So when I go to the shop,
I can verify that that's indeed true. I'm not a big fan of Uncle Auntie. I don't think they super like me.
Yeah, so I mean, so to me, it's a very meaningful business lah. And
what's the goal? What's the end vision?
So very simple. Is it number of stores here and there? The answer is no. It's just for me, if I can make more families healthy again, then that is the at
least like collect
what
testimonials of like people who say that they're getting healthier and this kind of thing. Like
I do. So that is
because that's your higher social moral purpose. So if that's your metric, then you gotta like I mean there's a feeling that you're making people healthier versus they send in and be like, oh my God, this is making me so much better. You lose weight lah, regain their voice.
So see, I can't go and take a loose weight one. But at least, so there's this one auntie that I can never forget. So her name is called Auntie Christina. So she took this one, the Cleanse Mulan, and then she told me that she was having a sore throat. Correct. Then one day later, she said she can sing. Interesting. Anyway, it's on video. So yeah, so things like this. Some people say, wow, it tastes like my mother's cooking. I'm like, what? Okay.
That's fair. I can see how that has happened. So I mean, for everyone watching, I hope that answers the question. I mean, I think I look forward to seeing a lot more of the shops. I think a lot of the folks that we know have actually bought it, and I think I just think like, if you're watching this and you're organizing an event, it's just like, and you want your people to like stay awake. First of all, not drink a lot of sugary stuff. I mean, they are all welcome to have coffee, like I am also. But if you want them to, if they speak a lot, or you don't want them to have a lot of sugary stuff or drink a lot of sweetened stuff, then, being able to reach out and, being able to get some healthy beverage for them seems to be an obvious choice.
Yep.
Which I think, I still hold the record for the most amount of cups ordered, right? Or,
yes, you do.
Yes, 144, I think, or 140 or something like that. 100 don't know.
Biggest order so far.
Biggest order ever in Cha Mulan history. Thank you. Okay, so then let's talk about back to when you first met me, and it's kind of interesting for everyone who noticed was when I first met you, the funny thing that nobody realized was at that point of time, you were still in school.
Should be end of year 2.
Yeah, so I think
year 3.
Back in the day, I mean, we did a session kind of similar to this long time ago where we kind of walk people through, but then our entire journey, but during that period of time, I think there was not enough time exactly to really like delve deeper. I think we were doing a kind of webinar, and I think it's COVID time also where we talk about this. But you were still in uni. You're helping Sean with some ads or so. And I think, and that was what you're doing most of the time. So what was your first thought when you first met me? And then was it another divine thing or so? Like how the heck we end up talking for 3 hours and you're like, all right, cool, let's go and do the campaign and then like stick around and like do this for 8.5 years. Like,
what went through my mind? Let me see. I think at that point of time, it was the situation where, yes, I was doing well with Sean's side, and I'm always grateful that Sean and Dr. Daniel gave me the opportunity to work on the campaigns.
Yeah, and you were, and then I don't think you did a lot of self-marketing then.
No, so
I remember your first Facebook profile got a picture of 2 guys inside. I didn't know which one was you. They both look the same.
Yeah, so that was how I started, right? The part where I met you was just nice at a point where I think Sean was exploring some collaboration with Kenchi, correct? And basically for me, it was like, at least for me, it's like, wow, if I can make someone else very good money, what if I do my own thing?
Yeah.
And perhaps would I get a larger pie? That was the biggest thing that went through my mind.
Okay, yeah.
And then also I can still recall, right? We first met at International Plaza, level 2. And some don't know what
some kind of tea, juice
shop. And then we spoke for 3 hours.
Juice.
And then so we hit off pretty well, right? We had similar interests. And then we just chat. I can't recall when was the last time I had at least until then, like a 3-hour conversation with anyone. So you were the first person, right? Also, everything clicked, and then you did your thing. I did my name. Just Marshall for the first time.
I would say, yeah. I mean, that was how it kind of started. I think back then, I mean, I had just learned from Marshall, and then, I was very passionate about doing it. So I beginning to use Marshall's stuff to turn around my own life and business, and, it's going pretty okay. Then I think you were a uni student then also, right? So how was it like? What do you recall first and foremost in those, like, because we did 3 Marshall events or so, and I think the first one was always the most challenging one, because the first one, I think at that point of time, we had desire, yes, or at least I had desire. You can share your side. You're still in uni, and then we were like, all right, let's go and pull off this event, and we are not a well-funded, high performance and operating seminar promotion machine. You just run ads for Sean. I am a marketer. I think I can speak pretty well. So I think I had previously taught kids for about 7 or 8 years, and then we are like, all right, let's go and do previews. And then, like most of the time you watch Sean do previews or other people do previews. There's one thing I watch, and I was like teaching kids, and I was not yet in the adult marketing and seminar market. So I knew how to sell kids programs really well to adults, international school and expat adults. It's not like really, and then we were like, the first few previews we did, what do you recall? No, we started out like just both of us like going there. We had to carry flip chart stand, paper, you had to operate a credit card machine. And I don't know if you knew how to do it well. We didn't know what the hell we were doing in terms of preview. So what do you recall?
The first thing come to my mind is Norman.
Yes, our dear friend Norman.
Our dear friend Norman. He bought the first ticket, right?
Yes, the first ticket ever. And I think he never even buy because the pitch was good. I think he bought to support us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Norman, for if you're watching this.
Norman.
Shout out to Norman. First ever Enlightened Profits FOB customer.
Yeah, first ever invoice in our history of our life.
Yes, I think the first preview we do. Did we close?
I think it's Norman, right?
It was Norman. I mean, it was
I think he was sold before he came already. He just came to verify a bit. How was he sold? I think it's by you through some convo, some convo whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Was that the only sale?
I think it was the only sale.
It
was the only sale.
So the biggest things that I can remember at the point of time was because the first few times I see you speak whatsoever, right? It's not during the FOE previews. It was when you went to do some like kid stuff.
Oh, yes. With
Saifu, right?
Yeah.
Then do some events there.
Yeah.
So that was when I saw you speak. And then when you were speaking there, right, you were doing your teacher thing, correct? The coaching thing, the whole vibe is just like more like that one.
Yeah.
Then at the same time, when I see Sean sell one, it's like, very story based. Like she's there to tell a story to sell, correct? And then there are some darkness of the future, so on and so forth, all the problem and pain kind of stuff. But when you sold the thing that I recall was that it's very brightness. So just like the teacher is like, so to you at that point of time, saying anything that's more darkness kind is not very natural to you.
Yeah. So anything that touch on pain or like what happens if you don't have something.
Yeah.
I didn't really mention that.
Yeah. So then we can still recall like after the whole 2-3 hours, then like the sales cui, then like how?
The sales cui and it's not even cui, like we know what to improve. It's like cui, we like I look at you, you like I think you also don't know because I think at that point of time, right, you I'm not sure if you knew what Sean was doing or maybe it was your only example. So you had a few suggestions. It wasn't like
so,
you were any better.
I recall
you moved the mic. So
just in case. I recalled we had a rule that we eventually set upon. Is that so the pain here is this. Because like after every preview, especially when it's a bad day.
And our slides are all black and white last time. No slide, no picture, no color, nothing. And we also know what to do. Every preview, we will come up with
something
with a new idea. I have an idea. I think this will work. And sometimes you won't. Most of the time you never.
Yeah. So we had a rule, correct? Because we had like, after it's like, you need to prep for the whole bloody day. Then after you deliver a presentation, then got sales, no sales, typically not much sales. then what happens is that then you'll be the most shagged one. Then you are asking for it also. Then you'll be like, hey bro, give me some feedback. Like then I realized after 2 or 3 times or giving you feedback or giving you whatever I say, right, at that point when you finish the presentation, right, you feel even worse. Correct? So we had a rule. Hey, we just go and eat at the Zisa stall nearby.
Yes.
And then we will talk
the one in International Plaza. We will just go there, eat, and then we will only discuss what can be improved the next day.
Yeah, so that's something that I've taken away is that especially when
in the moment feedback, not always the best.
No, it's the best. Just go and chew first. And tomorrow morning talk about it. It's not too late, right? Correct.
Yeah.
Just go and keep it in the thoughts first. So that was one thing that was memorable for me at the point of time.
And I think during that period of time, I mean, just for everyone watching also, like people they understand we really put in a lot of time and energy and effort. I think you were juggling with school. So half the time, like sometimes when we meet, like you come from SMU, right? And then we'll go there and have to prep the preview. I don't know if you're the best SMU student. Really, I don't think so. Because I think you would frequently sometimes either skip class or don't do assignment just to come. We'll say at International Plaza below. Then we'll prep the slides, And then also like it wasn't just that we were doing preview and people just come. We had to run ads.
Yeah.
We had to text people to come.
And then you had to collaborate at a point of time
with a lot of people.
Like Benny is one of them. Correct?
Yeah.
Shout out Benny also, right?
We have to reach out to people. We have to talk to people. We have to text people to come. And then afterwards we come and then Lord knows if you're going to do a great preview or not. Sometimes you'll bomb. Then afterwards, like if you bomb, you need to follow up also. And then we were like working really like day and night also. And then, but I think credit to us also, which means no matter how much you bomb, we always came back the next week. You know what? Sometimes I think we'll do like once, twice.
Can't recall. Quite I think at least once a week. And sometimes you also don't like to do things in advance, right? So I can still recall there was once, we need to prep slides until, 2-3 a.m.
Yes.
I was like, what the heck? Then we had to, I don't know why do I have to do overnight? I just can't recall. Was the presentation in the morning?
It was with Kelvin Wood.
In the morning. It was morning or afternoon one?
Well, Mastery. It was morning. I think we had just come back from Joe Bauer and then we were wanting to do a 1 day one. It's a like full day.
Oh my
It was like,
goodness.
I think Joba was like saying, let's do a full day one. And then the full day one, obviously you talk from like 9 to 5. One.
Had to adjust, right?
Oh my God. And then like, we didn't get it done. Oh.
And then we had
And that was the first time we tried to do videos lah and all these kind of pictures lah and trying out all of those things. So I think you did to 2. Then I think I came over to the house at like 4, 5 and then I took over. And then by the time we went there, I think everybody had like 1 or 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah, that was bad.
But I think the sales were, I think for first time ever, we got like 2, 3, 4 kind of people. What do you recall from the first time we organized like FOB? I think we
Bro,
did.
I'll never forget that we need to freaking rent a lorry, go and load tables onto that lorry, and I don't know what we did, man. Bro, it was just...
Tables and chairs.
It was...
I think for whatever reason at that point of time, we decided to use a place which was one of the dumbest, not the most intelligent things that we could have done.
It was a
working
co-working
capital.
space. A working
Yes.
capital, co-working space.
So we for whatever
Fourth
reason,
floor.
right, Thurber was not working already very well. We decided that for whatever reason that we'll book the working capital, which only had steps and were high steps. And we booked the 3rd or 4th floor of the fucking place. And no lift. And then we would pack like 100 plus chairs and tables in to organize this 5-day, 4-night event.
And I still recall it was a very long thing. Then we initially planned it to face the front, then we have it very long, right? Then afterwards, halfway through, is it, or before it starts, then we turn. Correct?
Yes, we had to like flip the room
To the side.
Yeah, and we had Thurber hold his huge walking stick to come in, walk up like 4 flights of stairs. And then every night his legs would be like swelling because he had just like double knee replacement. And you hired a blind masseuse.
For
Oh my God, I had no idea how or wwhy you would even find a blind masseuse at that point.
I also don't know why.
Yeah, I was like, some amount of insane things that we do. It's just like, cannot find a normal masseuse. You cannot find a girl. Need to find a blind guy. Now, so we have an old man and a blind guy. Just like, what are we doing also at that point of time?
But since you mentioned about that, right? Then at least that was the first time, right? I learned that the proximity, like the closeness, like the speaker to the audience, right, is much more valued by Marshall and Bill than anything else, correct?
Yeah.
So they rather have that proximity, so they rather have it long, but then like they close. So that's something that I learned also, right, in presentation. It's like rather than have the guy very, very far away from you, and like.
But I think credit to ourselves at the point of time, our entire strategy. I mean, we worked really hard also. We were clueless, but we worked really hard. Like these days, I tell people that if you have money, you use money. But definitely back then, I think your family got money but we never really use money that point of time, network I got a bit but I wouldn't say like now Now I actually know a lot more people. Back then, I mean, you were a uni student, you probably know Sean and the VIC people. So we didn't have a lot of network. Money we never use a lot. The next one was skills. I don't think we got as much as now So the only thing we put in a lot of was time and energy. Yeah, we just were very dogged. We like not very skillful, but we like chase every ball down. And we were unafraid of rejection. Yeah.
Nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose also. Everything to gain, nothing to lose also. And
you're solo there, right?
Exactly. So I think we managed to pull off a pretty decent event, right? Because you think about it, actually the scale was pretty amazing. We had 2 older guys, Marshall and Bill, coming in from the States. And they each I think they each brought their significant other at a point in time. Not sure if Simone came, but I think like Rebecca, Bill's wife, definitely come.
Yep.
Then we managed to do this event where there were folks from from Australia who were coming in to volunteer also. So how come our first ever event so international and right is insane. We got people coming in from the US, people coming in from Australia, right? I'm not sure if someone came from Hawaii. You got Peggy who came in from the US also. Then we have people from all around the region. No, our first event also. We never do any preview outside the place. We had Malaysians come in, Singaporeans come in, and we also nothing to lose. We went to reach out to some very influential people within the seminar industry. We either gave them free tickets or we struck some deal with them.
Yep.
And then they came. So actually the first event, 100 plus people, not bad.
Good stuff to us.
Good stuff. It was very hectic. I remember just I also don't know why the first time ever we added so many complexity also. But I would say that it went off pretty well.
Yep, we did well, and then that went on to be on the second one, third one, right?
The second one, third one, and I think the second one was when we started travel.
Yeah.
I started to wear a suit.
Malaysia, right?
Yeah.
Then do we have to go to some, I don't know.
Yeah, no, we started to travel to places. So I think I forgot, we went to India, went to Malaysia. I think
India
we went.
was good.
we really did a lot. I think I went to Cambodia with John Quack also. I think we went to Cambodia. We went to Cambodia. Yes, we went to Cambodia.
Wow.
Or at least I went to Cambodia. I don't know if...
No, we went.
We went to Cambodia.
No, was it John Quack? No, it was with...
Andrew Pekai.
Andrew Pekai,
No,
yes.
but that's Myanmar.
Myanmar.
Myanmar with Andrew
Cambodia?
Pekai. Cambodia, I think with... It could be with John. I think John was FAKL.
Yeah,
So we
John
went to
K.
Cambodia with somebody. It started with P1P. Somebody brought us to Cambodia.
Okay.
Yeah. We went to Cambodia. We went to... I'm not sure if we went to Vietnam. I don't think we went to Vietnam.
No.
I think we went to Cambodia. We went to Indonesia. That I definitely remember. Jakarta, we did. KL, we did.
Yeah.
Thailand, we did multiple times with Romy.
Yeah.
You know, I remember there was a time where we stood on chairs. You know, I wear a pink color shirt. After Joe Power, I was standing on chairs. And then I was like doing all the weird things. I was just like stand on chair lah, put a timer lah, just like the amount
Before and after the preview.
Before and after the preview, it was pretty wow during that period of time. Yeah, I mean, we went to different countries. I think during that period of time, we learned that culture was very important. Every country responded differently.
Yeah, and then having a local tour guide, which is the person who can introduce them, you to them.
The Cambodian guy was, I think his name was Piseth.
Piseth. Wow, very familiar name.
Yes.
Very familiar name.
Yeah, Piseth.
Now I'm getting a bit of a, yes. Now I'm getting a bit of a...
For everyone watching, I teach memory one. A very good memory. This is from like 8 years ago. Piseth, he brought us to Cambodia. Thailand.
I can still recall the person who was infatuated with you also.
Yes.
Should this what we can be?
I also don't know. I forgot her name. That one I really forget already. Yeah. I think Joe has seen a lot of what are some interesting things that you remember as we travel. So I tell you already, right? So at least in 2016, because we are starting out, thank God did we go India in 2016? I think we did.
No, not 2016. The second one.
17. Yeah, 17. Yeah,
So-
we were
so-
not very welcomed by the maybe you don't mention the organization name but the previous organization with Marshall weren't very welcome there for whatever reason. We also never do anything. Or we arrived there, then they're like not very nice to us.
I can't recall the bad things. But the good things I can recall was a lot of honking, correct?
Oh, yeah,
A lot of honking.
yeah.
Then one day, I think morning when breakfast, I went out to have breakfast on my own.
Yes. I
then
recall
you
a
were
lot
very
of
surprised.
strange non-work related things that we did, or at least you did. I'm quite sure you remember the equally the same. That
But mine is typically food related, but yours, I think, is not camera friendly. Yeah, I can still remember the food I eat at different places.
Yes, I think you went out to India on your own, and it's not particularly super clean place. Or
Drink my tea beside the road, and then you seem to be very
stunned would be the
fearful
best word.
of that.
Yes,
Well,
because
was
I
just
think
like-
I think you would die of dysentery or like some kind of disease. Yeah, but somehow you found
But
that.
to me, what went through my mind was just like, hey, if I see 10 guys before me taking this, right, I think I won't get in trouble. I think so. So thankfully it was fine.
Pusin, her name is Pusin. Yes.
Oh my God.
Don't worry, I don't think she'll watch this video. Yes.
Why is it even okay? Whatever.
Yes, wow. Yeah.
Oh,
we
yes.
went to Cambodia. Yeah, we went to all of these different countries. What else do you recall on those travels? So for everyone watching, right, I tell you some of the more interesting things that happened, which is
So
at the
many
start,
things,
right, to
bro.
save cost, Joe would always rent a hotel room together with me. Don't worry, nothing weird happened. You sleep here. Then I think after a while we decided not to also because a few things also. So number one, right, Joe will sleep early. So Joe's a good boy. After food, right, he will go back to the hotel room and then he'll roll around, watch his videos. Then he call his then girlfriend. Then he'll sleep early. And then he like to put the aircon on not very hot. Then I would quite do the same. Not do the same. Because I think I will go out. I'll come back at like what time do I come back usually?
Very late hours.
3-4 a.m. Yeah, I think I'll come back 3-4 a.m.
But then Mel would still deliver whatever he needs to the next day.
Thank you for highlighting the professionalism, but I don't think it is very good. I'll come at 3-4 a.m. I always put the aircon like super cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I'll put like...
And then you'll notice that the whole room is still lit up when I sleep, right?
Yes, for some reason you can sleep like with the lights on.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, at that point of time
I can sleep with the music on, the lights on.
Yeah, at that point of time I would like go out and like go to all sorts of strange, interesting places and then come back, have a few drinks and then come back at 3-4 a.m. and it's like... Yeah, so after a while of the interruption, I think Joe had enough. Then he was like, hey, I think you get your own room. I get my own room.
Pretty much. I think that was the third FOB and not too sure.
The second one,
when we had a bit more money, then I'm not going to stay with this guy anymore.
What else do you recall during the second one? So the second one we decided.
I'm looking at pictures here, and then you see pictures of you doing weird shit.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Those should never see the light of day.
Yeah, look at those pictures. Quite interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
What was your impression of me or of the work that we were doing back in 1-7?
Impression of the work that we were doing in 1-7? Probably you. The work we did is just very useful, very meaningful stuff, right?
Yeah.
Promote Marshall, promote the class to more folks. And then a lot of people met through the class. A lot of people had new ventures and new connections from there. And then they branch out to go and do their own things together. So like, wow, so interesting, right? And but about you, wow, bro, there's a lot of things that is no, I mean the typical things are like of course you were good at what you do, right? Right, and then you could always still deliver after doing rather unfathomable stuff the night before, or rather I have no idea what went on, right? Because I'll wake up in the morning and just see you there only.
Yeah.
What else did I recall? I recall us packing our musical stand, bro. Do you recall the
yes.
musical stand?
Yes.
Black color, yellow color, whatever one, then put in our bags.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah.
And then you travel, and then you like what is it called, nomad speakers like that, or nomad.
Yeah. We go everywhere, and we gotta have the music stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is really critical. I think we eventually got the mechanics of the pitch down also.
Yeah.
For everyone watching, but from allowing us to entertain and regale you with our stories, we actually understood like the mechanics of the pitch. There was a certain format. You have to begin and hook attention. You have to allow people to be able to identify with the stories also. So whoever's in the audience need to feel that whatever it's talking about is something relating to them. You gotta have testimonials that relate to people also. So if you have no testimonials, then it wouldn't work.
Oh yes. Yeah. So the second one was much easier to sell because they came for the first one with testimonial to play. Correct?
Yes. The first one was just like hope. Then this is my favorite testimonial that I can never forget. Calling go.
Yes, exactly.
See, this is what happens when you work with a guy for 8.5 years. You already know.
Yeah. So do we go together? I'm not too sure.
You went only.
I went to his Pasir Ris.
Yeah, you're very
condo.
You're very turned on always by family like testimonials. You should start kindergarten. Think about it. Or you should start.
Not too sure how the margins look like also.
You should start like family stuff on it. I think you should start kindergarten.
No, so I can still recall, right, that it was a pouring day, right? So we were at this, I don't know what, barbecue shelter, whatever nonsense. Then I was interviewing him and asking him, hey, how was life like after
FOB?
After FOB, correct? So he gave a completely non-business answer, correct? So he was saying that, wow, hey Joe, before the class, my relationship with my daughter wasn't very close, correct? When I went home, it's like, I'm there, but then there's not much interaction with my daughter. Then like she sometimes might greet me, sometimes may not greet me, that kind of stuff. The storyline was that like that. But then after FOB, I went home, I changed a few things here and there. Right? Then right now, my daughter, whenever I come home, like even before I open the door, she'll run to the door and she'll greet me, and then we have good conversation, stuff like that. Then like, wow, bro, you organized a business class, and then we impacted someone's
family and relationship.
Like, wow, that was memorable to me. I mean, like the money part actually honestly don't excite me at all. All the testimonials that we had for all the
people making more money.
Yeah, I mean to me it's like throughout all these years, right? I know that the money testimonials is a hook. People want to see that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really excite me, man. I mean, to me it's like, okay, can you please tell me something more than so what have you done with money? For example, like correct? Xing Hong and Ellen, correct? Wow, they use their money and then they go and buy themselves a nice house, a nice car, they had a good life,
2 cars.
so and so forth. And, fantastic, correct? Wow, young folks, they did well. Well, that makes me happy for them, correct? Then
they managed to get married. I think she's pregnant now.
Pregnant now also, right? Baby coming.
Maybe as of this video launch, then maybe they are father and mother already.
I think
which is kind of cool because we saw them at X Factor when they were like college kids.
Yeah. They like
22 years old, I think she was 22.
Just came out of uni only, right?
Yeah, 22.
Yeah, so and then so to me it's like, people can when they have more finances because of us, and then they get to have better quality of life.
Yeah, you were family. That's your inclination towards testimonial when it's all family related.
Yep. So to me, like those kind of stuff excites me and makes me find the work that I do more meaningful. Correct?
Yeah.
Because to a large part, I mean, like we gotta find meaning and make meaning also, right? So I actively go and solicit all these things to make.
I think the family transformations, whether it's in health or in the fact that people improve their relationship with families, or like their families become better and closer, like really mean a lot to you. This is what I kind of realize also. Hey, what do you think means a lot to me? I so curious. I know what you look out for. What do you think? What do you think I do it for?
I will say the camera friendly stuff lah. What means to you?
What do you think?
So you see, right? There are different parts to Mel, right? Correct. So there is the presentation pitchman Mel. Then there's the pastor Mel. Correct. Then I think you see, universally, I think basic human needs are basic human needs. Correct. So what do Mel say again? What do Mel?
What do you think? Like I do it for? Like because we started a company, Enlightened Profit.
Okay.
So if you look at it, right? I mean, profit everybody understands, but Enlightened you got like different
meaning lah. Correct. Must be meaning.
So
must be
yours is like
impactful.
definitely to transform like families. This thing is really important.
Yeah, I think for you, what do you? Number one, you also want to see people transform, correct? Because you do so many retreats, you do so many transformative work, and then you facilitate so many things. And then like when you're in that pastor Mel mode, I think what excites you and perhaps makes you feel rewarded is when they transform also.
Yeah. Correct.
Then of course, then there's a part where you the salesman and the pitchman Mel, correct? So when you get to close sales, you get to perhaps in your mind, I'm just guessing only, right? Perhaps when the sales are high, is a reflection of your persuasion skills, and then that is a testament to your level of excellence at a particular craft. Because you are to a large extent, you value your craftsmanship a lot, correct? Especially in persuasion, in getting people to do things. Why you laugh, bro?
Nothing. I also don't know.
My choice of word was very careful.
Get.
Why you laugh? Okay.
Nothing.
Correct. So in getting people to transform their thoughts and ideas.
I see. True.
Correct.
True.
Into what kind of activities or kind of behavior that was up to you. But anyway, you value that kind of excellence.
Yeah.
Correct. Sometimes maybe a bit too much. Okay.
That's true.
So anyway, so that is it. And basically transforming lives, persuading people to transform their lives.
Yeah.
I think there's a large part.
Yeah, so I think we really broke through the frontiers. I think like, as people listen to the story, we really like, we started this not a lot of clue of what we were doing, did the best we could, got a lot of like influential people down. Second year, we're like, also don't know, never been to a lot of these countries before. Went there, like not quite knowing the culture. Just a lot of balls, if I have to recall. Just a lot of balls. I just go there like, okay, do you know much about Thailand? I also don't know. This fucking uni student. I've been there to do kids programs and other things. But like, do we really know? Like, we just go there and like, okay, just go there and trust, learn, adjust, adapt. I think there was a lot of it also.
Oh my goodness. Since you mentioned about this Thailand, then do you recall we went to California? My goodness.
Oh, yes. Oh, to see Jeff Alexander.
Yes, Jeff. To see Jeff Alexander and all. And I can still recall we flew there, took so long just to fly there. And we hit directly to the hotel to work with him. Then afterwards, and the biggest mistake there, right, was only staying for half a day to have R&R. And I still recall we live in someone's backyard shed or whatever nonsense.
Your bright idea, bro. You were the Airbnb, that shit,
goodness.
And I was like, oh my god, what the hell?
And it was so cold at night. Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was
the heating was so poor.
We didn't know what the heck we were doing. Yeah. I think that was it. I think these days, having gone through all of these, and you can think about it, right? Back then, I also don't know. I bet I still think that your wife and your then girlfriend hates me because like. We got no boundaries on it. Like, we do every day on it, because we also don't know what the heck we are doing. There are not a lot of coaches that had back then, right? Because as we want to grow this thing, I don't think we were against paying people money.
Yeah.
Right? But there was not a lot of option, right? There was Joe Bauer, we went for that class. There were people that taught a little bit of ads, but there wasn't people that guide us through like how we did for X Factor. Hey, here's how you create this, how you create this, here's how you sell, here's how you... There were nothing on it. So literally when you have nothing, then you just learn by like... Just balls and mistakes. That's it. Okay, this sounds like a good idea. Well, we'll pack our bags. Then let's go. We got this thing next week. Do you know what to do? I also don't know. I have an idea. Then I'll look at you. You look at me. Then we like, I don't know. We figure this shit out.
Yep.
Then we are on the ground. We just adapt. And most of the time, I mean, it's probably usually bad ideas. I mean, it's good ideas in the moment. Bad ideas retrospectively. You're like, that didn't quite work. Maybe we stop doing that. But the credit to us, we did a lot. We did a lot of previews.
Yeah.
We did
just spend money.
we spam. I mean, you spam, I conduct. That was the key. The key was, I remember this one time we were with Miranda Hung and we were at her place and we did an afternoon preview. It was at Cuppage. Then afterwards, so we did that. So it's 2 to 5. Then right after we finished that, we had to rush to Adam Khoo's place at Cuppage, 51 Cuppage Road. And that was like 7:30 to 9:30 or 10. Okay. Or was it International Plaza?
Got rid of a...
Yeah, so you don't recall. I recall because I had to do from 2 to 5. Then I had to eat dinner and conserve my energy and literally do the exact same thing like 2 hours later. And that was like intense. I don't think even till today, people like do one preview on Zoom. They're complaining already. Last time we did like 3, 4. Yeah, Saturday we would do. I would do. Yeah. So I just tell everyone a story before we talk about 2 other things also, which is after we did the preview so many times. So you sat at the back and saw me do the Marshall Thurber preview at least more than 100 times. Would that be fair?
Very likely, yeah.
So after a while, we were doing the 1 day and the 3 hour. The 3 hour one, right? You knew it so well that you knew how to stick around for the first 30 minutes until I entered the story, then you would just disappeared. This motherfucker would be gone.
I recall.
You'll be
gone.
gone.
I saw it so many times. Yeah. I know exactly when you end.
Yes, he heard it so many times that he would disappear and magically appear like 45 minutes before the close.
Yep.
At exactly the exact moment, then you come in. Then you like take a 1.5 hour break like in the middle, just to like go and chill. Every time I saw him go out, this fucking guy is leaving and is letting me up there just do it. But we did a lot. We did like 3 or 4 a week. We traveled the world.
Yeah.
And there were so many times like we were low on sleep, and we changed countries also. Sometimes we were like so ballsy, like, one day Thailand, then, we fly to another country. We went to Taiwan and spoke in Mandarin.
Taiwan also.
Yeah, we were booked with all these, we were booked with all these affiliates and be like, all right, if anyone gave us a chance and said they could put an audience together, we'll give them a good deal and we'll say we'll be there. But they say, it's this particular day and this particular time. We say, okay, fuck it.
So at that point of time, there wasn't Zoom. If there was Zoom, much easier, right?
Yeah.
Just like screen cut off face there. Yeah.
But we were like any place, any time. And it's like, okay, no problem. We will be there. I think we traveled once so much, I think confirmed JJ complained. And we got no barrier. Saturday, we also do it.
Yeah, I guess that's how I got more pictures of you than him.
Yeah, Saturday we also do. We don't care. And at that point of time, we were started out and we really not just sell these people things. We stay in touch with them. Even though there was there were some
gatherings, right?
We always did.
The gatherings. So the one that I've been speaking with Christina Keothi more often, right? Because now we are in the same industry, F&B. So wow, so another memorable one was that she mentioned that it was because of the gathering, then you pushed her, right? Then she managed to start God Mama. And now they are doing well.
Yeah, they are doing well.
Parkway.
But I think, these days everyone talks about, having a community.
Yep.
Having a, stay in touch with your tribe. And 2016, people were all in the seminar market. We just stay in touch with these people and created a community that was very frequently held just because we like them. Yeah. I think we do Monday gatherings or every couple of months.
That was largely your idea. For me, probably not.
So I like people. So I always do community and I always gather them.
No, the thing is this. Actually, I people also. Do you know that? Okay, so I was doing a reflection. I met so many more clients and friends in the last 4 months than the last 4 years. Because I'll be at the store, so on and so forth. Then last time when doing X Factor, right? You
never leave the house.
I'll pump petrol once every 3 weeks. Sometimes even almost 3.5 weeks.
So you never leave the house.
Now I need to pump almost every 3 to 5 days. Walao.
Some don't like people that much.
Now it's for...
But hey, at least this F&B business made you meet people. But we did community then. Yeah. And I think that was when then people had a network. We had community, we had network. It was really, really cool to see that transformation also. Yeah. I then want to talk about 2 things also, which means we made offer mistakes also. Back in 2017. Yeah, so we had a good event in 2016 and we thought to ourselves, and this is a lesson for everybody. In fact, beneath all the stories, apart from the colorful stories about me, not so much about him, there are also lessons that you can learn. So we made an offer mistake in 2017 because we decided to pack too many things inside. It was a 7-day class. And people were exhausted, people were tired, some of the events didn't go well. The accounting game was horrible. It was way too many people. It was not well organized. And we kind of realized more is not always better. We had to stay up. You know, it was the first time we did a mega event. We had like so many people come in. You know, I think that was the first time we had John Quek and those guys from Malaysia, Dixon and Michael Teo and some of those people coming in from KL.
Yep.
We really internationalized this thing. Like I also don't know where we found the balls to go and do it.
Yeah, and then just reminded me that we did it in JB. So we had to travel the whole team and everything go in JB.
I just really look back and just think like we were just like, were we smart? Were we bold? Were we dumb? Like, how come like we just don't go and do like a small class, keep the cost low, keep everybody like local? First time, like, all right, no problem. You get US people in, Hawaii people in, like people all over the place. No problem, guys. Oh, you come in like as if we like do this for 10 years already. Like, that's our first event. Then second one, oh, no problem. We will rent a big ass hotel room that has a huge like deposit also. We will pack for 7 days or so. These are entrepreneurs. How the hell are they going to have 7 days or so? We never go and think also. We will bring in people from all around the world. You know, we'll put tables and chairs bigger than a wedding dinner. We'll have a crew staff.
There's translator also, right? Translator.
Yes. Translator.
For the Thai.
Yeah, and at that point of time, people thought like, hey, this EP team are very big. No, it's me, you, and at that first time, and I want to talk about this also, but we wrap up the thought on offers also, because in 2018, we decided to learn and be like, you know, I think we should stick with our core offer. I think just keep it to 5 days. You know, keep something tight. Don't go overstretch. Keep it lean. Clear promise, you know, that's where we learn it. But 17 was like chaotic. It's too long, it's too hot, it's too draggy.
Maybe more also.
Less is more. And we didn't understand that. And many people thought, hey, you organize this or what? You're very experienced. No, we don't know what the hell we're doing. Number 2, must have a very big team. No, we don't have a big team. It's me, you, and Colleen. And let's talk about that because that was the first time we hired a brand new person.
Yeah.
Because before, a lot of people think, hey, Mel and Joe, like,
did we hire her in 1.6?
We hired 1.6.
The first FOB or second one?
First one. At the end of the first one.
First one, end of. Towards the end of first one.
Yeah, towards the end of the first one. And I recall last time it's just me and you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just me and you. And then the first time you hired her, I also don't know how to work with a team member. Never hired a team member before. Didn't know how to manage. You know, so these days when we teach stuff, you know, when we taught stuff at X Factor or when I teach stuff now, so then I'm trying to cover and teach these people like, you know, we had to learn by experience and failure. Because I recall I didn't know how to work with a team member. You started talking a lot to her, you would delegate also. And I didn't think I was setting a particularly good example. I'll miss a lot of meetings and, you know, not behave in
some other behaviors.
Yes, and not behave in appropriate manners. That was like leadership friendly with team members also. And then one day you're like, hey, you know what, you cannot behave like this.
Trauma-inducing.
You cannot behave.
You laugh. I don't think they're laughing.
Yeah, you cannot behave like this as a leader with these people. Then I go and reflect also. I was like, hey, I really don't know how to be a boss. I don't know how to be a leader. I was like not doing the right things. You know, so how was it like as we started to build the team?
Yeah, I think like what you mentioned, right? Because I communicated with the team a bit more than you.
I think you were more open to understanding how to hire and how to like find people, etc.
Yeah. I had to go and learn also, right? I had to go and learn, read some books, watch some videos here and there, then go and like work out some of these hiring systems, firing one also.
Yeah.
And then I can still recall at that point of time there was this lady, we hired Colleen and a second person that we had to fire also. Then like Colleen and I like don't know how to fire.
Yeah.
And like we asked the person onto the call, and like the person want to cry, kind of stuff. And like we also a bit shaky here and there. So anyway, we just had to learn and as we execute along the way.
And learn how to be, you know, work with people, delegate, how to be a boss, how to be a manager. We had to learn all of this.
For sure. And I think at that point of time, because your role is pretty much more on the presentation and the sales and the networking and the connecting with people folks, correct? So to me, I understand that there wasn't much of a need for you to connect a lot with the team members.
Yeah.
Then to me, I just like, that's my role to go and fulfill, correct? As long as, then for the team members, they may or may not understand, correct? So I go and communicate them that, hey, this is not Mel's role and not the best use of his time, energy, effort, and his skill set to go and like handle all the other stuff that you think he should handle, but it's not the best use of his skills, correct? So for me, it's like I actively get you out of doing any of those things so that you can focus on whatever you do best, correct? Yeah. So that is something that happened, and I think that carried on for quite a long time. And then for me, it's like the max is like just assign one person or a PA just to assist Mel on some of the admin stuff. If not, he will drown in doing those things, then he cannot do again what he does best, correct? So
yeah. I think in 2018, as we started to get smarter also, right? I think it was a lot. I think we put in a lot of reps. And in 18, we got smarter. And that was when, like, we went to Japan. When Japan, we went as far. Like it was insane, the amount of places we went to. Did we go to Hong Kong? I know we went to Taiwan. Not sure we went to Hong Kong.
No Hong Kong.
No Hong
Taiwan,
Kong.
yes.
Yeah, Taiwan. And we went to all of these different places also. Wait, were you there when I decided to speak and do the preview in Chinese for the first time?
I was there.
Yeah.
I was there. I can still recall
5 minutes before the door opened, I decided, for whatever reason, despite not speaking Chinese for 10 plus years, I decided that would be the first time, and I'll do a full-length 3-hour preview with the fate of the pitch hanging on it in Chinese.
and
Jackie
Cho, right? Jackie
Yeah,
Cho,
Chong.
right? Cho, Jackie T Cho. Yeah,
Cho,
Cho,
yes, Cho.
Yeah, so the second FOB had the Taiwanese entourage came, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also don't know why I chose to do that. But I thought the third one we did really well, solid. It wasn't full of colourful behaviour. And I think we did really well. I think we facilitated some of the speakers who are like, market leaders today to meet one another there also. I think I'm quite sure that Jermaine and Benny and
Was it the third one or the second one?
third one. It was at KSL, but it was a shorter one. They kind of met over there, and I think it was a really satisfying one also. We had a good one, and I think and we were looking forward at that point of time. So for everyone watching also, we had expectations, right? So the third one went well. It was smooth. Everything was good. We felt like it was redemptive.
Yeah.
Because the second one was just like, oh my God, it was too long, and just we were not very satisfied with it. And so we had plans for the third one to go international. We were thinking of like streaming it, at that point of time, and then having people join in. This was like in 2018. And at the point of time, even just to show how unexpected things were, you had already started to hire new team members, Kat, Tin, and Lucy, and a whole bunch of people to facilitate the growing of the FOB business. And I remember we were in Manila doing a team training for the new girls who had just come in. And we were doing a training to let them know what the FOB business was about. And that was where we got a phone call. Like right there at the retreat there. So like in the day, we were like, hey guys, we brought you on so that we can grow this Marshall Thurber FOB thing. We just had, we even had monks coming in 2018 or so. So shout out Park, right? Brought in monks. Have you ever had like 13 monks leading meditation at a business seminar? Just like, this is just the level of like, WTFness of our event. It's just like, I don't know what to say. It's like I know you, like we have gone to strange places all over the place. We have had some insane experiences. I remember, shout out David Chua for helping us build translation booths, because the third one, we had like, don't know what, Jap translator, English translator, Chinese translator, Thai translator. Bro, I don't know why we never think of setting up a fucking booth. And so like in the middle of the night, David Chua together with his team had to like hammer in wood and like set up.
Yeah, they go to a nearby shop and go like steal, don't know, whatever stuff. Then they get a cushion and wow.
It was insane, man. Just like, wow. Then we had to set up booths at the back. It's just like, when it happened, just the amount of like insanity there is. And so we wrapped that up. We hired girls and we were training the team in Manila. And then we get a call. And the call said, Marshall Thurber has a heart attack. Double, triple, quadruple heart bypass. Then like, I look at you, and you look at me, and then we like, because this is the business that we have built for 3 years, a lot of hard work, virtually 6-7 days a week, traveling the world. People knew us for this. This is our price, our only product.
Only product.
I also know why we decided to build the only product on the backs of a brilliant but often eccentric 75, 76, 77-year-old guy. And then right now he has a quadruple heart bypass. Now, good news is he's still alive. He was doing well. But bad news is we know confirm you're not going to come here again. So we also don't know. We just spent the day just telling the girls, okay, this is a product we got to sell. Then I look at you and you look at me and they were like, uh-oh, there goes that. There goes the product.
6-figure refund also.
Oh my God, yeah. Because we had sold the next event.
So I recall, right? So if we fast forward to, I think, a few weeks after that, right? Then I recall that, you were very, like, how I say, had identity crisis.
Oh yes, I had an identity crisis, but I invested so much time and energy, like virtually every day.
Yeah, and then you're saying that
So
you're
I had to go to
the
Tipsy Penguin.
FOB, the Marshall Thurber guy, blah blah blah. And then I mean for me, like, I can
You
just
never
like,
do as many preview. That's why you not invested in it.
No.
I do so many preview.
No, because for me, it's probably a bit more logical, right? So to me, it's like, what's the next step? What else can you do? Like, what's next? But I think for you, it's like, it's a big identity crisis. And
Yeah.
I can still recall there was once, I don't know, is it 11 or 12? You asked me, I think I drove to your place.
Yeah,
Then we had dim sum at the round market, right? The round market, kopitiam there. Then we're having dim sum at a very, very late night.
Yeah,
And afterwards, we sat in the car, then you're like very sian.
yeah.
Yeah. That was one memorable time.
Yeah, because I just knew, like, you know, we started clueless. We were figuring it out. You know, we felt that we had hit, like, this was like the thing. We invested a lot of time and energy into it. We were like really putting our heart and soul into doing this also. And then, like, you know, I felt like, oh man, like, this is gone, and what are we doing now? We got no product, you know, we have nothing. It's like, shit, man, like, it's not a good space to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then how do you recall we came up with, like, X Factor?
How did we come up with it?
Yeah. I think during that period of
No,
time, a lot.
okay. So at that point of time, we thought of a few things, right?
Yeah.
Either we do it for other people, correct? Did we so we thought of doing it for other people as like an agency kind of service, right?
Yeah.
Then the other one was the coaching part, correct? So I believe we started out with the doing it for others first. So we did concurrently the done for you and the coach you one.
Yeah.
And then along the way, the coaching part took off. Then we just cut one and just continue the rest, right?
Yeah, I think during that period of time, at least, you know, the good news is Marshall talks about the concept of pre-session, and there was a lot of pre-session for us also, right? Because we invested a lot of time, energy, etc. And I just really think that if there's a lesson also, it's like, you know, not everything you do works, but the amount of, if you put yourself out there, like the amount of energy you invest, like it will repay somehow. No, I wouldn't say that everything we did worked, but, you know, we did enough good and effort in the region, or even like in other parts of the world, Hawaii, and, like, you know, the US, etc. Like, we did enough for people to know who we were, and, you know, and people could tell that we were rather smart, definitely very dedicated young folks. And so a lot of people were coming to us asking about marketing and asking about, hey, how you guys do this? Because people think we're like great persuaders. I think in 1.8 we were better than 1.7 and 1.6, you know. But we certainly, like, take nothing away. I think it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
People they overestimate the selling ability, and they underestimate the number of places and times and frequency that we did.
Yeah.
And I was always down with whatever like fucking idea you had, whether it was a 3-hour preview or a 1-day preview. 1 days were always the hardest. Yeah, 1 days were.
What was the hotel name? I can still recall, it's a bit white, a bit green one. The one I did at KL. That's a 1-day preview. Do with Michael Teo, John.
Yeah. That was when I did.
That preview, that place.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. 50,
Yeah, we never said no to any opportunity.
Yeah.
If you can gather a crowd, we will be there. That was our attitude. That was like really insane. Like I remember John, like, shout out to John Quack, my good friend from KL. But there was one time John was like, all right, guys, I think I can gather like a room of 30 in KL. He didn't get us 30. I think he got 12. I remember. That was when he was doing the crowdfunding thing also. He got 12. But that one was our best ever closing preview, because we closed like 15 out of 12 people. That's for the negotiation class.
Oh.
Yeah, because some of the people there bought for their other friends also. So it was like, you know, so I mean, he came late and he was apologetic.
Was it the day that, right after that?
Yes, we had to do. Yes, we bombed and got zero at Desmond Ong's.
That was a oversubscribed one, and then a 0 one, right?
Yeah, 0.
Because
that's what Ong got.
So that's another lesson there, right? When the offer don't match the audience, right?
Yes.
It won't sell, right?
It won't sell. It was an absolute bomb.
Great offer, correct offer.
Yes.
The right person, they buy more than.
Yeah, so John did give me like the best room ever. He gave me a room with like a TV that's smaller than this over here. So it's a really small room, and he had like 12 people, but the TV was real small, and like, it was a bit late. But right audience, 90 minutes in, 15 out of 12 buy. And I felt on top of the world because not 100%, guys. You go and do the math. Like 120%. Are you kidding me? I sell more people than in the room. Then we took 2 hours. Once again, a back-to-back preview. We took 2 hours. We went to Millennium Hotel beside where David Chua stays in Pavilion. And I went there and Desmond Ong had 300 plus people there. But it was for like this kind of fast money kind of event or so. I went up there thinking, as you can see, I crushed 120%. And I go there and do, and I was like, at the end, I did all my exact same clothes. I was wearing the exact same shirt with the exact same slides. I went up there. I said, please go to the side. Nobody move. 300 people, not a single person go. I know I was in shock. I was in terror. I also know sales was 0 out of 300. I think at the end, like 2-3 Filipino girls want to take picture with me, and that was it. Because at least they walk over. I thought, hey, at least we had 2 sales. Now 0. None. It's an absolute bomb. Then I remember we ended and I was like stunned also. I was like, what the hell happened? So how do you go from like superhero all the way to complete like 0? Same day. Separated by 2 hours.
Yeah. Same day.
So I think we had so much experience during that period of time. Perhaps more experience doing things wrong. And definitely some things going right. And I think people wanted to find us for coaching. And people were like, how exactly do you guys do it? And I also think we earned the right also. We earned the right by virtue of our hard work.
Yeah.
At no point of time during our time in X Factor did I ever feel like, sometimes people feel like as a coach, you have imposter syndrome. I don't feel imposter syndrome. I feel like we have
earned the right already. We did the reps already.
Yeah, we have, even till today, I don't think many of the people.
So you mentioned about imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
So during our course of coaching folks, right? I think the imposter syndrome is real, right? When they really know liao, or they just so that part is always the hardest. Like, how long have you been doing this? Can you please tell me some of your track records of serving people, some of the results they've gotten? Then when they say they got none or they very little, right? Then I'm like, bro, how did I take 0 times 100? Oh. Still 0, correct? Or 0.5 times 100. Right? It's like very hard, right? It's like, wow, very, it's like,
what's the beauty about the internet, right? Is you can watch 10 videos and sound like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But then it's like the whole being is just, you can feel that they have not done it. Or they don't say it with gusto, they don't say it with confidence.
Because actually they don't know. Like, you watch video, don't mean you can do.
Yeah, so I mean, I think during our time we had to.
So I think that was the key. That was the key because like even though it was like, so you were doing stuff with Sean before and actually doing it, right? So we weren't doing it as crazy as we did for the 3 years. I was also doing stuff already at a point in time. I was traveling the world teaching kids and selling the kids programs to millions of dollars. But during that 3 years, we really packed like what would otherwise be for a typical person, at least 5 to 7 years or so. Because we just told a story of going back to back again on the same day. And this happens like every week. After a while, I also never complained. I was like, okay, no problem. I started getting really used to
Wednesday or Thursday plus a weekend, Saturday, right?
Yes. It's like 3 previews live, guys. Live. Sometimes he asked me to do one day on it. And credit to me, this I credit myself. I never ever said like, what the fuck? No, actually, I would say what the fuck, but I'll still do it.
But I still do it.
Yes. Right, I don't think I bitch and complain a lot. Did I?
Like now.
But I'll still do it. I'll always do it.
Yeah.
I will always do it. I never said like, hey, nah, I don't want to do it. Like I'll never turn that opportunity down. I think that was the thing also. We never turn that opportunity down. If someone could do it and they were willing to give us a room of somewhat qualified people, we will be there.
Yeah.
And I think that was really the spirit we had. So I never felt that we were imposters when we do that. In fact, like, even till today, my point being, many of the people that we have helped and coached, and they have done well, shout out to them. But I still don't think any of them have done anywhere close to 10% of the insanity we did in those 3 years.
Probably. Yeah.
Because if we list the countries and the frequency.
And then it's like we had to do it by going there as well. It's like not just like do Zoom, correct?
Yeah, it's not Zoom. These days people are like, I just spoke to 1,000 people. I'm like, that's true. I've done like big crowds also, but I had to do it cold to the audience, landing, and like, I think many of the people that we have helped have not. Have you gone to India and like had no clue? Cambodia, no clue. Jakarta, no clue. Thailand, side by side with Romy as he translates sentence by sentence. Then follow up there, like going to Taiwan and Malaysia, and like every audience was different. And having to adjust, adapt, see what they want, see what they don't want, bomb. Wow, we learn like a lot.
And it's always like every country you go, right? You will sure bomb for the first time. Then it's like,
we never tell the partner.
It is always like after one FOB, right? Then the people who have been there, then you'll bring more of their friends back.
Yeah.
So what I learned also is that success really to a certain extent takes time to roll the success. It's like a snowball, right? At the start, the snowball is the effect damn slow.
Yeah,
But then
nothing seems to happen.
then it just gets larger and faster.
Which was why I think I was a bit sad, because it did seem like, like after 1-8, the big break was going to come. But I look back and just think like everything is perfect, because as we move towards coaching, we were that person already. We had learned really a lot. We deserve to be able to teach some of those things, a lot of those things to people.
Yep.
We had made more mistakes also than ever before. Looking back also, we had made so many mistakes. Oh my God. And along the way, by overcoming the mistakes, we also learned how to do a lot of things. Because the team was still not very big. So you were like really good at doing all sorts of things. Swipe card, you can do. Do form, we can do. Like we could do everything because we had to do everything. And so when we like coach people, right? And they're like, oh, I have this problem. We're like, don't worry. We do before. So I think at that point of time, we felt very deserving. And I think we were in a very good space to be able to help a lot of these people. I think looking back, it was almost painful in the beginning, but it was good that we embarked on the coaching thing also, because the moment we started, then COVID happened. And if we were still stuck doing the events business, oh my God, we would have not been in a good space during COVID also. So I mean, whatever happened could have happened the moment COVID started, but I think it happened in 2018/19, which then gave us a little bit of time. Because in 2018 we went to promote. Yeah, so we still wanted to do the old model. That's where we started working with Mark Joyner. Until one of our team members back then, Kat, was like, hey, you guys are really good at doing this. Why don't you just teach? And then, I remember I fought tooth and nail to originally be like, nah, but, then eventually we started doing it, and then we realized, hey, we actually have a lot of value to provide.
So I think one of the things that I can share so behind the scenes over here is that at least perhaps others may not be able to see that, right? But at least this is what I get to see also, is that even though like Mel has done a lot of presentation, Mel has done a lot of stuff, persuaded a lot of people, closed a lot of sales, but at least from my point of view, it's like you, even at 2019, 2020, I think there was a part of you that still wasn't like ultra confident that you are very deserving of your excellence, your stature. I mean, to me, that there was a part where you still felt like you had to borrow someone else's credibility.
Yeah.
Even though I don't even think so. Even though I think many people don't think so. But I think there's just a part of you that perhaps thought that. So to me, that was interesting, right? Even though like it's like what Kat said, right? Hey, Mel, you are good enough, correct? So that was pretty interesting for me to see. But
and I think it was just the mode, also the identity. Also, it was identity before. Also, I was teaching at Supercamp, so it was boring Supercamp. Then afterwards, yes, I did some marketing stuff on my own. That was when I grew the business after I learned from Marshall. But then we were promoting Marshall, so that was about Marshall, and so it was always like someone else, until I and then we did with Mark, which was cool also. But it was always like I always felt that at that point in time I needed somebody else until I could have. And I think, shout out to Kat, shout out yourself, the team, for letting me know eventually, like, hey, you can actually go out there and do. And I think eventually we tried, dip our toes in, because we also don't have any coaches back then. So when we wanted to do this coaching thing in the first place, these days the model is very widespread. Everyone, borrows the model that, we somehow were using. A 3-day class, three-day class, they eventually, higher tier coaching at the back. Back then when we did it, like no one was doing it. Nobody was kind of doing it. I think we were, first time I was like, look at you, like, is this going to work? Like, we had like 14, 15 people. We gathered at, I think, Carpage again. I think it was one of the rooms.
Very small.
Very, very small room. We had a little U shape there. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not quite sure if this is going to work.
It was Zach Young, one of our first few clients.
No, Zach was at Singapore Shopping Centre.
Second
Singapore Shopping Centre. Yeah. The first one had the two doulas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe Ben Tan was there. No, Ben Tan wasn't there. So it was a very small class, and we had no idea. Once again, it was back to cluelessness also. So I look at you, you look at me, you're like, well, I think this model will work. I say, really? Yeah, and then we just got to do 3-day class, morning to night. We're exhausted afterwards. Didn't really know whether it was right or wrong. But once again, it's just reps. We just go and do.
Yep.
Do, you get better. Do, you get better. And once again, we would travel. This time it's 3 days. So if we had a crowd in Malaysia, we would come here and do the 3-day class.
That was how we met the
Ellen Sing Hong,
YATL right?
Julian Yong, and a whole bunch of people. Yeah, like the YTL gal.
Yeah.
Just whatever. It didn't matter even the size of the class. 12 people, we would be there. And this time around it's 3 days.
It's like starting from zero, right?
Yes, that's my point. It's time from zero. It's time from zero again. We were offered that, he pulled out of his ass also. I was like, don't know, like, you gotta try to convince me that this will work. I know him like, where's your evidence that this will work? He's like, well, I really think so. I say, hey man, here we go again, man. With this like, I think so kind of shit. And we gotta figure it out because nobody was doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had to learn like everything from scratch. We knew what we knew. Then we gotta figure this out and teach
And
people.
we did it slowly along by long.
Yeah.
And then we can't use a lot of the past FOB testimonials.
You cannot.
Because that was for the last product, right?
Yes. No, so
and now we have to
use
restart to sell something from
Yes,
and then we have to wait like 6 months, 1 year till the results come in. Then the whole thing starts getting easier and faster again.
Yes. Yeah, so it's like restart again. Oh my
so
God.
a lot of folks are like, wow, how soon can I get success? So I always recall the question. Oh, a very memorable question. We always ask, hey, how soon can I see results? How soon? Right. So I would at the back of my mind, I was like, are you successful now? Because if you are, right, it's easy to amplify
Yes.
the hell out of you.
Yes.
Correct? Everything's much faster when you're already doing, let's say, high 6, 7 figure, whatever, much easier. But then if you are not very successful now,
it's the snowball thing you talk about. You got to build the snowball before the snowball get the steam and the snowball accelerates. Yeah, but at the period of time, oh my God, like it was rough.
Very rough.
It was rough, man. I just like, oh my God, holy shit, we got to start from scratch. And I knew that was like going to happen. And this time was longer, but at least it was back then when we promoted Thurber, right? We were only in charge of promotion. But now we got to promote. Then we got to sell, we got to fulfill, we got to retain and do all of these different things. And so we got to like put in the reps again. And I remember the first time we did X Factor, eventually it grew to like, we had quite a lot of people. I mean, during COVID time, 2020, 2021, we had like hundreds of, like a lot of people there on Zoom with us. But I remember the first call we did, Zach Young was there. It's actually, we had like 5, 6 people. They were the number of people that we had on the call. And then we like started there in 2019.
Good times,
good times, man. And then we had to start from scratch. And that's where we met a lot of our wonderful clients and like people. And we had to travel and really begin from zero, which also added to the level of experience that we could add. And as we perfected the model, we were able to teach the model. And that was when we started to see a lot of people replicate the models. They're very similar. Like, a 3-day model, they eventually became high ticket at the back. And then, there's just people doing really, really well over there also. And then let's talk about COVID also, because that was interesting. So talking about change, I hope everyone listens to the stories and realize like, we're just a bunch of guys who were largely style clueless. So last time also no YouTube. Last time coaching, if we had to pay overseas, it's damn expensive.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a lot of access to content. So we are just like a bunch of rather driven dudes. I think we got some level of intelligence, but we just put in our reps and we learn along the way.
Yep.
And so now we start from scratch and, and we figure things out. Then COVID comes. So at the point that we're hitting some kind of momentum by doing the live X Factor classes. Sometimes you do it at your house. Because you have a nice house with your parents. Sometimes you do it at Singapore Shopping Centre. And sometimes you do overseas. And we begin to get some momentum 1+ years in. Then all of a sudden, 2020 is a lockdown.
Yep.
Then I get like fucking irritated again. I was like, oh my God, are you fucking kidding me?
But for me, I was so happy.
Fuck you.
Can you Zoom?
You don't even meet people. So I was like, oh my God, are you fucking kidding? We're doing these live classes. It's going like, okay, we're picking steam up. And
no, I think it was at that point of time where I was very comfortable doing Zoom.
No, you were the one of the early motherfuckers who kept asking people to go on Zoom. Even though like they stay like 10 minutes away from your house. You ask them, can we do a Zoom call? And I always mock you for it. What's up with this? Like, was back before COVID, people would want to meet face to face. It's like fucking weird to meet people on Zoom.
For me, it's like, wow, I need to go all the way down to Paya Lebar and meet our accountants.
But you stay in the East, bro. So you were the only one sending Zoom link then. Then nobody like fucking send Zoom link in. So like you were like Zoom. So 2020 comes. I'm just like, oh my God, like we now have to not do the live classes. We were like perfecting it already. And then you had a bright fucking idea, which I resisted also.
What was it?
And your idea was that we should do the 3-day class. And I was very insistent. I said, you don't understand. It cannot be done on Zoom, remember? And then you were like, well, you need to figure this out. So during that period of time, we took inspiration from other folks. And then we figured like, how are we going to do this otherwise interactive 3-day class? And I thought I saw many reasons why it cannot be done. And we morphed the box.
Yeah, because I think a large part of your persuasion live, right, was done live in person.
It was the only thing that was done. No one that did virtual.
Yeah. And then it's like, for you, there's like a lot of emphasis on like the connection, like walking down the aisle and like looking at the person, like all these things, right, to persuade. So getting you to do persuasion online is like killing you. It's like, wow, I cannot see this guy, I cannot feel this guy, I cannot.
Yeah. And I had a lot of reasons why it cannot be done.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then it was like, it had to be done. Right. And I thought that was like really interesting. But I must say that once we nailed it, once again, I flew again.
Yeah, no. And then I think I was so happy. Like, wow.
This fucking guy. So the 2 years in COVID was extraordinary. Like to be honest, once we nailed it, we were one of the early people to like really nail it. I remember coming to your house, we had to set up the compartment there. And this guy, once again, fucking hell, like this is a 3-day class. It takes a lot of energy. It's from 9:30 to 6:30 to 7 o'clock. And you would organize 2 of these in a month. That's how we have hit a 100 X Factor class in 4 years, bro. Because if you do once a month, right, it's 48 only, bro. We have 100, which means we
do twice sometimes we do twice a month.
Yeah, bro, it's fucking exhausting.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
And we were not doing the X Factor class, we were doing preview to fill the class.
Yeah. Oh, it was crazy. Then after you sell, right, then you fulfill also.
Yes.
Like every day.
So we are either closing, conducting, or like coaching.
Yeah. Delivering also, right?
Oh my God, it was pretty full on. But I thought those are 2 like great years, and I think we created a lot of transformation during those times.
Yeah, help a lot of people also.
Yeah, I think there were a lot of young boys and girls who came in. Right now, they're all like market leaders. You know, they see their ads. You know, shout out to Alan, Sing Hong. We got Darius, we got Zach, we got Ben Ong. It's a whole long list of people. So many people that we have helped. You know, and then just all the industry greats and giants helping them with their webinar, their pitch, their conversion, and having the same convo, seeing the behind the scenes there, and just seeing them, and now they're all doing like super well. Yeah, then therefore eventually, I mean, but I think also during that period of time, we should talk about this also, which is like I had the divorce in 2021/22, and I just really think like during those period of times it was not a good year.
Yeah, definitely crashing year for you.
Yeah, so I also felt like during that period of time, I really don't think like I was like the best. Like, I mean, I should say this also. I don't think I was the best like partner. I think I was drinking a lot. I don't think I was behaving in rather appropriate fashions. So I certainly felt that I made a lot of like errors and mistakes, and I think I caused you a lot of angst. Yeah, it's quite and that was how I definitely felt. So just I think for a couple of years or so, I think during that period of time we had to help people, but I probably needed help myself also. I think 21, 22, and 22 was a horrible year. So yeah, that was very tough also. 23 was kind of like recovery, but on and off. But you know, I just don't think it was really good also. You know, and then sometimes I also think like, wow, would that have contributed like, you know, to your decision eventually? Would it be like, you know, you were, don't know, sick of like that also? I just really, I think I made a lot of mistakes also. A lot of errors with team members, with general being and behavior. I think at that point in time, I wanted to position a rather rebellious side, probably born out of, yes, part marketing and identity, but part also like my own issues also. And I think like, you know, it was not just an identity that I wanted to put forth. I would think it was real. Like, I was like, you know, like how many times did I like, you know, go on mastermind calls and drink like a bottle of wine
in front of them also.
From the bottle.
Then I mean, I guess everyone has their own demons also. Then I think the Chinese one is 家家有本难念的经.
Yeah.
Right? So I guess you have to deal with whatever you had to deal with. But I think the good news is, at least now, I think you've dealt with a lot of them already.
Yeah. I think it's like, good decisions come from experience. Experience comes from bad decisions. So as I look back, also, I think this has been like pretty interesting stage. Like, I don't know. I don't think I provided. I think I did fairly well at the start. I don't think I provided a great degree of leadership / clarity, especially in 2-2 and 2-3. Yeah, I think that was definitely a letdown on my part. So I don't know. I think retrospectively, I think probably I was like AWOL a lot of the times.
Well, I mean, for me, from my perspective, is that since I understand some of the situation.
Yeah, I think I was not a very good partner. Yeah, so I'm there. I mean, but we still put through. We did what we could. I think. So if you look back upon the entire journey that we have had so far, like how you regard this? So it's been we have done a lot. Even in the COVID times and etc. It's like a lot.
Well,
I might give you a moment. I don't know. I think it's been a lot. Yeah, it's been quite a. It's 8.5, but it almost feels like much longer than that. Yeah, I don't know. I really I just really appreciate the time. I think I had a lot of lessons. I think I did the best I could. I think I also had a lot of issues and challenges. I also think working with me as yes, I think I'm very good at what I do, but I think I'm also quite a problematic person. So I'm also very grateful for all the support and I think understanding. I think especially those couple of years of 2-2 and 2-3, and so yeah, yeah. I just think it's a lot of lessons. I think we have done a lot, gone through a lot. Yeah.
Yep. And then for me, now I feel like also had to restart to a large extent as well.
Yeah.
But when I look at it, it's also like, like what Marshall says, right? Pre-session is like everything that we have done from FOB to X Factor is to prep us for X Factor.
I think everything preps you for the next stage.
Thing, right?
Yeah. I think sometimes, it's that Steve Jobs thing, right? You can only connect the dots looking back. Yeah. Then in some way, I mean, you want to use define or not, depending on whoever's watching this orientation of that. But it does seem that every encounter we have had have prepared us for the next one. And like the next one, and then the next one also. Without which then we wouldn't be able to do what we do.
Yep.
Yeah. So, well, I think biggest lesson or last words for everybody watching. So,
biggest lessons
or like anything.
You're a pastor, Mel, and you have more lessons for them.
I say. I don't know. I think I feel very grateful. I think this has been a very good journey. I'm happy actually I've taken this and gone on to do like wonderful things. I feel very happy. I feel very grateful. I feel very blessed to have had this like 8.5-year journey with you. I just think this is like an insane, incredible story. It's almost literally like, you go on a operation or an adventure with a person. Like, you're going through a desert, but it's not just desert, but desert imply one location. It's like, I don't know what the fuck, man. It's like around the world. Like, at first I thought it was around Asia, but you remembered we recorded that we went to the States also. So it's like really around the fucking world. and like doing whatever. Like, and like whatever you can kind of think of, like you know, I think I credit myself because all your fucking weird ass ideas. I never say no. I would challenge and be like, "Are you serious?" But then I'll be like, and here's my standard answer. My standard answer is, "Okay, fuck, let's do it." I always said yes. The whatever you had, because you only cook up the idea. You never do one. You fucking only come with the idea only. Then I got to do it. You know, hey Mel, I got an idea. I was like, okay, what's the fucking idea? Then I got to go and do it. Then I always I will find a way to go and do it, and then I will go and do it, and then yeah. So I'm just very 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 grateful. We didn't go through a checklist to kind of find this. I was almost late to meet you, which is pretty interesting. If I like not met you in 1-6, I think, been late to that meeting, then none of this would have happened. So, and then to have such a storied adventure, 8.5 years of like running around doing all sorts of insane things. Yeah, it's kind of I was watching a documentary on like Navy SEALs and Delta Force people, and they go through and do this military operation, and most of them like they might not be of the same personality. I don't really think our personality is the same. I think the things you enjoy doing on the weekend and the things you like in general, apart from work, are completely and diametrically opposite to me.
Yep.
I don't think we actually like. If we were to hang out recreationally, I don't really think we like doing the same thing.
No, I don't think we ever did a lot of 8.5 years. I don't think we ever did a lot of things recreationally.
Because I don't really think our recreation is the same. The things you enjoy doing are like, I like to guess, a Sunday in with the family and walking around the park, which I fucking hate because I'm like, you already stay there, right? Why walk around the fucking like neighborhood, but you are less East Point, right? East Point. You like going to like these kind of places. I'm just like, I want to go away, and so I don't think we like the same thing, right? We don't. But I think it just proves that you don't have to be of the same personality to do some fantastic work together. Number one question people usually ask us is like, how do you work together?
Yeah,
because we're not even like remotely like even the same personality. Yeah, we are like diametrically opposite.
Maybe that's why it balances out.
Yeah, it balances out. We he doesn't drink. At that point in time, I was drinking a lot. I got a lot of weird, funny behavior. He like sleep early also. It's just like nothing aligns. He likes doing all sorts of activities that I do not like doing also. Like I completely don't do any of that. And so like I think, so I'm just very, very grateful. It was a incredible 8.5 years. I'm happy to see you go on and, do something you believe in. Yeah, I mean, they asked me to join you in this, but I mean, apart from drinking your tea, I normally don't even like it being like in Singapore that much, so much less, or running a fucking bubble tea franchise. Like, I will buy your tea for events, but I just don't really think that this is a story or a journey that I can join you on until maybe, who knows what happens down the road, right? But I'm happy to see you do well, so I just think it's been a wonderful 8.5 years. I think it's been a pleasure. I think I've learned a lot also. I learned, and I want to appreciate and apologize for a lot of some of the things that I may have done, which I don't think, retrospectively were not always the best. But yeah.
Thank you. And for me, I probably just look elsewhere a bit, Later, if not, I have a moment I cannot stop also. So I'm very grateful that we met in 2016. Then we got together, do all this awesome stuff. Like what Jing Jing will say, I definitely spend more time with you than with her. And the pictures definitely show that I have 500 more pictures with you than her.
Yeah.
We did so many things together without without complaints, hesitation, or just grits.
Oh man, I always call you in like weird hours. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and then when I don't pick up, then there'll be 8 missed calls.
I just keep on calling. Yeah.
Then we've been through so much, spent so much time working on the tough stuff, right? Enjoyed the success also. Yep. Then along the way, I mean, apart from just business-wise, then there's also other challenges for yourself here and there. Then we managed to tide through all these. And yeah, lor, so it's just
Cool. So, I mean, for everyone watching, I mean, I hope you guys have learned some stuff from our entire very colorful story together. I think in some way, I mean, you know, I've done this for 18 years. I think, you know, if you look back, I mean, you started in 1.6 till now. Well, now 2.5 already. It's like 9 years already. You're 1 year away from a decade. You know, and I think that in some way, like, you know, I want to share the story because these days I'm getting DMs from young marketers, young guys, right? Who, like, you know about the work that we have done, X Factor and FOB, and they're like, oh, you know, I know about all the things you guys do and we're so inspired. And, you know, so I need to remind myself that because I still identify as a young person. Or sometimes I also forget now you're in your 30s already. Because like when I meet you, how old were you when you year two? I think
24, I guess.
Yeah, 24. So in my mind, like I peg you at about 27, 28. So sometimes you tell me, like, as of this shooting, you're 30, what, 33?
33.
Like I cannot register. You know, so I also need to remind myself that I'm no longer like 20 something or so. And so, I mean, I also wanted us to share this story because if this story is the story that people are inspired by, because I think in some way, I'm not saying we are, but we're slowly becoming one of the OGs of this space also, having like done this quite consistently and helped so many like top names for a while. So I also wanted to, like, you know, have us share the story and we can kind of see also like this is how it started, very, very raw, you know. It's not like we are like somehow so gifted, like we like fucking first preview know what the hell we're doing. We just like, you know, we just fucking like tied it through. So for everyone watching, I mean, I don't know, I hope you take some inspiration from it. You know,
this and then hopefully some myths are being debunked. Like number one, Joe is a very emotional, a very logical person, no emotions.
Yes. Oh yeah, let's debunk every yes.
Probably I have shed more tears on camera for the first time.
That's true.
Number two, Joe doesn't like to travel. Joe does, but not for work. not to meet you in some place where I can do a job online. I like to meet people outside to have fun, to have a meal, to have a connection. All those things I still do. Like just not to meet person when I can do the same thing online. What else do I want to debunk? What else do you think should be debunked over here?
I also don't know.
Mel always puts me in a...
I say you don't like people as much, right? I mean, will you say that's wrong? Like,
no, of course not. Now I meet people every single day.
What, you meet them?
No, there are certain type of people that no. So I like people in general. I like meeting people in general. It's for what agenda, you see? Is to have fun, to eat, to chill, all this. By all means, you call me any time of the day.
But I don't think you like doing community events that much.
No, so one thing I realized, right, is that even though I don't naturally gravitate towards doing that, right, but after you initiate for it, after you do it, right, I like it.
That's my point. My point is you don't naturally like do it, but you have a good feeling after you do it.
So after I do it, or so maybe I like smaller events. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. But I think before we kind of wrap up, right? I mean, I just want to say, great tea. Where can people find out the store? What are the plans in the future? Like at least for this year, next couple of years.
The big plan over here is to get as many Cha Mulan into as many people's hands as possible on a regular basis. So is to get as many distribution points around Singapore. So if there's anyone out there who is a F&B restaurant...
This is what happens when you work with a guy for 8.5 years. He haven't said the fucking sentence. I know what the hell you gotta do already. Which I think is the same for me, or correct?
Probably.
Would that be fair? See, guys, I laugh because I know he gotta start promoting. He say one word, I know what you gotta do. Right? You gotta start fucking promoting Cha Mulan. Go, please.
No, so if you're someone who has I would say a similar, how would I say, inclination towards helping people in this area of health, and you want to put your money to good use. You want to put your money, I mean, apart from investing into, I don't know, your real estate, your financial stuff, your crypto stuff, you want to put some of your good money into Cha Mulan so that your good money can reach and impact all others in the area of health. Then please reach out to me so that we can find a way to arrange those funds into good use.
This fucking guy.
Or if you want to operate a store of your own, some folks asked me before, right? By all means, come and contact me also so that we can figure out.
Fantastic.
But I ideally prefer people.
Where's the QR code? Sign up link.
No, I prefer people who are already in F&B, but not a lot of our audience here is F&B,
Who
right?
knows? Maybe this go viral. Maybe people
Probably,
like
yeah.
listening to our colorful story. But just for everyone watching, this has been a trip down memory lane. I think it's one of the most storied adventures. I don't really think like a lot of people will have a story. I really don't think so. I think a lot, even the other internet marketers or other people in the region, like I think they will have their own stories. I think this is like nuts. Or this is a bit like, as I recount it, it's like, what the fuck? This is insane. So I hope you guys enjoyed our trip down memory lane. I hope it took away some stuff. And and this is a story. This is a story how we did this, how I met this awesome fella 8.5 years together, what he's doing now, and and how we started coaching a lot of these people. And I thought, we'll shoot this and just for once and for all, just share the story behind the scenes. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time.
Thank you.